guys, today we got a Toyota Celica that doesn't run. So it's outside here, so let's go out here and take a look at her. Now this thing come to me not running. Supposedly it had a timing belt put in it, and it just didn't act right after that. So let's just do a process of elimination here and see what we can find out what's going on. Okay. Alright, this bad boy is as you can see here, 1.6 liter. Where is it at? Oh, there it is, 91. Wow. Alright. Okay. Now, as you know, I used to work on this one quite a bit back in the day when I had the shop, so it's been a minute since I've worked on this one. Looks like it's had a motor put in it, and a good way to tell is you see that little freeze stamp right there. That's in case it pops out, in case you get it too hot. And then you can also tell it's had a aftermarket exhaust manifold gasket that should be steel, and it's also had a new distributor put in it, so that's a good kicker there. But apparently it's dead, so we're gonna get this jump box on this, and then I'll get you set up on the old tripod there, and we'll go from there. Ooh. A wasp almost got me there. Sure don't want that. I'm allergic to them. Swell up like a cucumber. Alright, let's see if the battery's dead. Woo! That's right, it was a standard chip. I remember that now. Alright. And then, of course, it's dead. Alright, that's the way it goes sometimes. Alright, let's go get my good old jump box, or my jump pack. And I got to say, man, this jump box here is pretty bad. I mean, a buddy of mine, he owns a record service, and he says it was the best for heavy equipment too. So that's one of the reasons why I bought it, because I figured, well, it'll do good for what I want it to do too. So I just figured I'd show it to you guys. It's made by this company here. And gotta have these, of course. And there it is. Now I'm telling you, this thing really surprises me. Now let's go give it a good test right here. Because really and truly, I haven't really tested on a dead one yet, a complete dead one. So we're about to find out what it actually does do. Okay? All right. Now let's hope that old wasp up there don't bother us neither. All right, here we go. Well, that's good. Oh. Well, that just don't sound right. And we killed the battery again. So I'm gonna have to get and put the large battery charger on it and let it charge, because I think what's happening is it's such a load that it's turning off the breaker inside the little jump box, because it went from having something to having nothing. So I'd say more than likely that it just tripped that little breaker it's built in the inside of that thing. So okay, one thing I did notice, and I want to show it to you right quick. It's a good thing to watch out on, like an older vehicle like this, especially the Toyota, okay? And now I reset that again, okay? So we're gonna show you this right quick. I want you to watch that RPM gauge right there. Nothing. That should at least come up just a little bit and show us something. And it's not going to. Okay? Now what that tells me, just with the experience, could be something wrong with that distributor. Now those distributors are notorious for the oil seals start leaking in it and it goes down on the bottom side of the distributor, okay? So I think what we're going to do is we're going to charge this battery up while I go grab a bite of lunch, and then we're going to dive into that a little bit more and see if we got any spark. But I doubt very seriously. I'll probably just end up dang, what is up with the bees? There's another one trying to get me. That looked like a hornet. Lord, everything's trying to stop me from working on this car today. But like I said, we're going to charge the battery up and then we'll see what's going on with that distributor. That's where I want to start, because that RPM gauge should be working. So I'll be right back with you. All right, I finally got a bite to eat and got the battery charged up. Now we're gonna see if there's any spark on this. Hopefully. You guys will get to see the spark. Come here and crank this car over. I'm gonna get me some help here. All right, crank it over there. I think I see some spark. Do it again. Just crank on it there until I tell you to stop. We got spark, so that's it. All right. Well, let's see. Almost makes me wonder. Could be fuel related. So we're fixing to find out. God bless you. There we go. Alright. Our charge temperature sensor was completely gone. Imagine that. With some old ether. Alright, Jess, see if it'll start. Make sure you keep the clutch pushed in. Don't never let up. Do it again. Keep going. Alright, do it. Makes you wonder. Well, let's see. We'll have to get it up on the top dead center and see where it's pointing at. The distributor, that is. Well, look at that. Look.
I got it.
Well, maybe the reason why we wasn't getting so good enough spark is look at that right there, boss. A little bit of oil. Could be our whole issue. Could be. I think it's got some screws in it. Yeah. Let's get that rotor button off there and see if we can see any up underneath of it as well. Now we can only hope for that we don't lose these little screws down in here somewhere. Well guys, we definitely do have some oil in this. So, but it's only got one screw holding it on there, so we'll go over here and see if we can't see to put this thing in time. You guys ain't gonna believe this. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, there you, yep, you might be able to. Let me get it to move around there. It's really, really close to being in time. Really close. All right, so I'm gonna try to move it just a little bit back to get that on 0. And then I'm gonna take that distributor off, clean it out real good. And then we're gonna see where number 1's pointing, and then that way we'll know where we stand on that. Still, for sure though, we don't know if they put this thing in time right. Hopefully they did, and it could just be a bad distributor in that case. May pull some plugs too to see what's going on there, but let's get this thing turned around here and get her up on top dead center here. Unfortunately, that was very easy. Kind of worries me. Did they really get this thing out of time? Possibly bent the valves? Just have to keep diagnosing and see what's going on here. Alright, let's go get some sockets. 14 maybe, 13 maybe. Dang it. 12. It's 12 millimeter. Alright. Just like that, fellas. It's out. And you can see it may have gotten in there just a little bit. So let's spray this out. And the good thing is, guys, you can see right here on the back side of this, they only go in one way, so that's a good thing. Plus too, that only goes in one way. So I'm gonna go clean this right quick, and we'll put her back in there. All right, guys, back. Got that. There's that. Put this back on. Looks like it only goes one way. Maybe I should have put this on before put it back down in there probably. Bad thing about that is it looks like it's way off to me, but I very well could be wrong. Could be 180 out, maybe, possibly, but we'll be able to tell. Now, cool. So according to me, that's gonna be 1. And 1 is right here. That's kind of pretty much right on it, really. I mean, it looks like it may need to go more that way, honestly. Like it's out. I mean, if you look at it right there, that tip. You look at it right there, guys. And it's like right there. You see that little notch right there on the distributor where my fingernail is? Kind of almost lines right up with that. So I'm thinking, see, that puts it way down there, like way off. You know what though, it might run if I put that back on there and take that bolt out. I wonder if I could get it to run. That's the key. So we're gonna let that still be number 1. I'm gonna go ahead and put these screws in there. And once again, I'm gonna have to wait for somebody to come back from the grocery store to go in there and crank this over for me. And I'm gonna take that screw out right there. And I'm gonna advance this just a little bit to see if we can't get this thing to run. If it is, then I'm telling you guys right now that this thing is out of time. By just a little bit. So let's get this thing put back together. Alright. Take that alternator bolt out, that way we can get control of the distributor. See if we can advance the timing on this to get it to run. All right, go ahead, Jessica. Crank it over. All right. Almost started. Shut it off. We're going to rotate these plug wires again and see if we can't get it to start. Yeah, because it almost started. Guys, we got that in time, but I swear the timing belt has to be off. So I'm gonna put this down here to show you a little bit. Let's see, that way you can see what I'm doing. You should be able to see this really good while she's cranking it over. All right, Jesse, crank her over. Now watch how far this has to be out of whack here just to get to run. There it is. Alright, stop shrinking, Jess. There it is right there now, people. That's how bad that thing is out of time. So we're going to have to take the timing chain cover back off, the timing belt cover off, and see who, what, when, and what they did to it to get it plumb out of whack the way it is. We're going to stop right there and pick back up over on the 2-post grip. Alright, Jess, shut it off. Alright, now we're just going to wait till our brother gets home, and then we're just going to put it right over here on the 2-post. That way I can get this thing up in the air where my back don't hurt so bad and get all that cover and stuff taken off. So we'll be back with you here shortly. Alright, we finally got it over on the 2-post. We got her lifted up. Now we just got to get this whole front end apart right here in order to see the timing belt up in here and down there. So we'll get commencing on that and see what we find. Bread tie. Okay. Now we just see if I remember how to do this. Axle strap. It's a new one on me. Alright. I'll leave that on there. Let's get some power tools over here and get this cruise control out of our way. The belt tension tool is completely, little product that goes right here and does this is completely gone off of this one, so it doesn't surprise me any. That's crazy. That's the way it goes sometimes. We're definitely going to lose this fluid everywhere, that's for sure. Because we really need to get it out of our way. So that's literally going to make a mess for us right off the get-go. But at the same time, it's going to get it out of our way. That way we can see this timing belt issue. So I don't know. Well, it might be here. Might be soft enough to pinch it right here, but we definitely need to get this out of our way right here. So let's get you guys a little bit closer here. Let's get a pan underneath here. Let's get something to squish this off right here. We might lose a little bit, but I don't know how much. I think we're just gonna let that go, because that's gonna just make a mess. Get us a pan down there. Hopefully I can get this off here fast enough that we won't make too big of a mess. I got my finger over it. So just like it right there. Get it over here around this cover. There we go. So it wasn't that bad. It'll probably still backwards drain. Here's one of these little cups. Yeah, that might do it. Make it a little bit better. Make it a lot easier on us, hopefully. This right here should do the trick. These little bad boy homemade ones, that way they work in the gravel as well. All we'll do is we'll get us a piece of wood, put right there. Oh Lord, somebody crushed that pan in a little bit, didn't they? Alright, let's get us a piece of wood. This may work. Not support it. It might just support it. Just enough. There we go. Now, well, you guys watch that motor when she moves. Oh, I seen it move. Alright, now I'll put you back over here. We're going to get this bolt out next, get this out of the way. We might need to have to ratchet strap this to the forward part here to pull this forward to get those bolts out of that cover. And then we'll take some stuff off from underneath. Then we'll get to see what the timing belt looks like. There ain't nothing but to do it. Definitely not good. Definitely not good. 17. Let's get the big boy out. Now that I think about it, I believe this motor mount right here is attached to the front of this engine. Yep. It is, it is, it is. Oh, I see. It's attached from underneath, guys. That's where it's attached at. That's how it's attached. It's attached underneath. Yeah, it's definitely attached. I don't know if you guys can see that. Right there it is. That's on it. Right there. Bolt's holding it. I'm gonna have to get that bolt loose. Looks like maybe from underneath. So yeah, we gotta pick her up and take it loose. Alright. First of all, we gotta get the power steering pump loose. Way up there. Gotta get that nut. Looks like it's missing one, so somebody left that out. got to get that off next. So I've worked on this power steering pump, get it loose, get the belt off, and then we'll get that loose. Alright guys, we have finally got the covers off, and you can go down here and look, and hey, you can't see the marks. Either way, that's in time there. You can see that yellow one right there, that it's that matches up with that latch down there. But according to the manual, or just years of experience with these little cars, it's that notches on the back side of that gear matches up with that little tit sticking up on the timing chain cover there, or the oil pump more or less there. But that's it. This one's in time. The crank is in time. Now, as you can see here, this is wrong. This is totally wrong. It is like probably 4 or 5 teeth off, big time. Okay, and it's not supposed to be that way. Well, my light went dead. I might have to go get us a new battery. Hold on. All right. As you can see, there's a notch right there. That's supposed to be for that. Okay. As you can see here, there is a hole right there in that sprocket, and there is a notch that's going to be on the back side of that, right in there. You'll be able to see it if you ever do one. That hole has to be dead over center of that right there. And sometimes you need a little paper clip to stick in there to see if you can feel that little indentation once you get it in time. That's supposed to be up there. So whoever put this timing belt in just did it wrong, completely wrong. So I'm going to get this loose, get that adjusted, and then show you the proper way of putting a timing belt on this, and which side needs to have the slack on it. Okay, that way you can get this thing loosened just right. Okay. Now what we're going to do here is we're using this pry bar to pry down on that tensioner pulley and tighten it up. Okay, that way it's there. Now we got all the slack that we need. Now let's make sure our bottom is still in time. Alright. Now let's see if we can get this what we need to be. We're going to pull this back out of our way. Alright. If I can bring you guys along for this here. Alright, does that let you see it? Yeah, somewhat. It's still kind of hard for me to even see it. So that right there is more like it. If I could just get it to stay right like that. Well, that'll never happen. There we go. It looks like you guys can see it pretty good, and I can too. So, alright, that's probably, looks like that might be a 12 or 13. You know, it might even be a 14. It is. Now what we're going to do is we're going to slowly pull that up there to get that in time. Now, this is a little old pick here. I'll just take and stick it in that hole. It's almost there. This is really hard to see in there. Here we go. I'll do it right there. Now they got the marks right there, but I bet you they had the bottom end down there off to begin with. I mean, they've painted that to get that there. But like I said, you wanna get something that you can reach in there, and then you can feel that. You'll literally be able to feel that down in there to where that needs to be by just sticking something in there. You'll feel it go right down into that little groove, and there it is right there. That's right on the money. Okay, now here's the tricky set. Here's the trick part. You got to be able to keep it straight down there at the bottom as well. Okay, you got to be able to keep it straight down there. Okay, and then you want your slack to go up and around, and you want it to be on this side, because when you let this tension loose, you want it to push against that. So the thing about it is, you got to make sure that that don't move, whatever you do. And keep all this in time too at the same time is going to be a trick. Okay, we don't want that. We don't want the crank to move. We want all that to be down there like that. So now you can see that it's going to get tight. It's like it needs to come just a little bit more to get that. Alright, round that good, round that pulley good. I'll just keep rocking it around that, making sure all your slack stays on that one side. Okay, there we go. Now I've got all my slack on this one side. Okay, this is where you want your slack. Now if you can just kind of hold that with your finger, hopefully it stays there. Okay, and just, you want to double check. There's that. Double check down here. You can't see it. You can't see it. I need to find my light. Where's my light? Oh, here it is. Okay. So you want to check, make sure that that didn't move. And honestly, it looks like it moved just a tid bit. So let's see if we can get that slack out of that and get that drawn back around. Oh, she moved. But I think it moved the right way. Now I just gotta kind of help support that a little bit while we release that back, or we release this. There we go. See that, guys? Right on there. Now everything should be in time. I'm going to recheck that up at the top, see if I can feel that little indentation. Yes. Okay. Let me go back down here. Make sure that's right on it, and it is. Alright, and no slack on that. Now, I do this too. I'll kind of twist it back and forth a little bit while that spring's got that tension on that. I'll just move it a little bit, you know, like this. So I'll just this way, that way, and let that get tension. on that, okay? Just like that. You want that right there, just like that. All that tension. Alright. Alright. That's all back in time now. Now what I'll do is I will tighten all this up, put all these covers back on. I'll take that distributor cap off of there and make sure that that's pointed at number 1. And I'll be doing all this. In the meantime, then we'll try it and see if it starts. If it starts, then this job is done. And then we'll be able to let it go. So just bear with me. What it does. Now what we're going to do is we're going to let that warm up, get real warm, and then we'll do base timing on it, and then we'll be done with it. So we'll just let it sit here and get warm. Alright. That just goes to show you right there that make sure that you get your timing set right. It's been about 5 years, I think it is, this guy said, that it hasn't ran since the last place got a hold of it. And it was all just because they had it out of time, is all it was. So what we'll do is, like I said, we'll let it warm up, check the timing, and this one will be good to go. I want to say thanks for watching. I hope this one turned out good, and there'll be more to come. But if you have any comments, comment. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Those little things don't cost you a thing just to do them. To help my channel out, especially when it's first starting out. But I want to say peace, and on to the next one.